Welcome to the Premier League show as we make our way through the summer. The transfer window well and truly underway.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, from an Everton perspective, you wouldn't think so. But other teams seem to know. Teams who've got money, including a team that has recorded, apparently, lost the most money ever in a Premier League season, Chelsea. And it's Chelsea who we are going to talk about. This week they have completed the signing of Raheem Sterling from Manchester City. They want Nathan Ake as well, also from City. They want De Ligt from Juve. So big times at Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel wanting players in, ready to spend money. They've just been taken over as well, haven't they? So a lot of change taking place at the Stamford Bridge Club. But have they done enough with these signings to challenge Manchester City and Liverpool? This is what the lads over on BetVictor's YouTube channel, The Last Fan Standing, this is what they've had to say on the matter.
So you've been linked with De Ligt and Ake for a combined fee of around £90 million. That's a big chunk out of the 200 that you've got to spend.
I think that 200...
De Ligt's a good player. Well, De Ligt's a good player, don't get me wrong, but hasn't done it in the Premier League. And what I'm confused about here, mate, and I'm not trying to wind you up, I really ain't, but it probably will. How is Chelsea getting any closer to Man City by buying two players that don't get into their first team? Sterling and Ake.
I think what Tuchel's done, if you look at Rudiger under Lampard, Rudiger wasn't a world-class defender, but would you say that Rudiger was a world-class defender under Thomas Tuchel? Would you agree with that?
Oh yes, I would agree with that.
He also loves a little bit of Spurs as well. I don't know if you remember that bit. But I think Tuchel as a defensive coach in this three-at-the-back system can make players arguably far better than they were. And I would say
better than Pep? You're saying he can do a better job than Pep Guardiola?
I'm not saying he can do a better job than Pep Guardiola, but I think Nathan Ake's style is actually far more suited to being a left-sided centre-back in a three under this Chelsea team. So I think that, you know, maybe it didn't work out for him at City, but it's also like, we talk about Sterling another time, but just because players aren't necessarily good enough for City, it doesn't mean that they're not good players.
Chelsea.
Flav's got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Flav saying,
You know,
they'll finish 10th.
is he mad? Because has the Arsenal, finishing above Arsenal and
Gone to
success
his
of
head.
Tottenham got a, I mean, success is a relative word, but it's like got a little bit to his head there.
He's guaranteeing Spurs will finish above Chelsea, isn't he? And a lot of other teams. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Not that Spurs couldn't, because I think Spurs have bought really well this summer, but Chelsea, yes, they've lost a few players. Obviously, Christensen's gone to Barcelona, Rudiger's gone to Real Madrid, Lukaku, although whether he was actually there, people will differ. He's gone back to Inter. There's some other players looking to get out the door as well. But they brought in Raheem Sterling. I think it's a brilliant signing, really. You know, done really well from Man City. Double figures every season. Scores a lot of goals. Just a threat with his pace. They're trying to get Nathan Ake in, obviously former Chelsea player. And as was being discussed there, he does okay in a three. You know, left side of centre back. And De Ligt, who was De Ligt's been a fantastic potential defender, but it hasn't quite clicked yet. No. But I think
Koulibaly,
Koulibaly's the biggest one, isn't he? I mean, he's unbelievable, but he is 31.
Yeah, he is, but so is Virgil van Dijk.
Never played in the Premier League, though, has he? Koulibaly.
I've never played in the Premier League, so, you know.
I mean, what does that mean? What difference does that make?
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah,
me and Koulibaly have got similar attributes.
Yeah, and a lot of us haven't played. No, listen, I think if they ended up with Koulibaly, De Ligt and Ake, I mean, three, did he need three?
I don't think they'll get De Ligt. I just don't think they will.
Yeah.
He was bought to be the long-term, successor of Juventus, and he's had injuries. I just think that might have... Juventus have obviously got money issues like a lot of clubs have. Yeah. COVID hasn't helped. But obviously getting some big players off the books in the last couple of years, like to Ronaldo, will have maybe balanced it out a little bit. And they listen. They have brought Pogba back, so I mean that's going to be financial outlay. But I don't know. I think he's got a big future there if they want him. But obviously this is where the money is. So obviously Chelsea will keep trying, they probably need another one. But there's talk of Aston Laqueta going as well. But it's very interesting.
But do you think it's the Lit or Achi then? Because Koulibaly looks like that's,
I don't know, because I mean that's if they're playing three, that's the three, isn't it? I think they've obviously got money. The new owner wants to splash the cash. Wants to splash the cash for the manager. Doesn't want to be bringing in players like the former owner, who was some of them were for the manager and some of them for him. So he's wants to do right by him, and of course you're trying to keep up as well. You're trying to keep up with that top two, and also you've got Spurs looking over your shoulder. If you look over your shoulder, and Arsenal, so you've got to stay in those Champions League places, and the only way to do it is strengthen. And we know as Evertonians, it's all right strengthening, but if you're losing players while you're trying to strengthen, then there has to be double the effort, and people start getting worried, and people start writing you out of the scenarios of who's going to finish top four. Not that I am. I think Chelsea is still such a professional team that they'll do it, but he'll want to compete. You only won the Champions League like last year, so they're still very much part of the elite there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting in the next couple of weeks what happens.
And they've obviously let Levi Colwill go out to Crystal Palace, like, the young defender. Looks like that's going to happen, so they are letting a young defender go out. So they could end up with all three, and then that makes them really strong. Then Koulibaly and De Ligt, and then obviously Achi's got a lot of pace and is comfortable on the ball.
I still think midfield's a weird thing for them, because they've got. I don't know. Do you look at their midfield and go, and Mason Mount is an in-betweener, isn't he?
Fantastic.
But you look at their midfield and go, oh, that's incredible. I still think that midfield area is a bit of a like sort of black hole. Like there's a lot of players. Yeah, but who in that Chelsea midfield do you look at and go, unbelievable?
Well, Kante's brilliant.
Yeah, but it's diminishing returns.
No,
isn't
it is.
Getting older
he hasn't
every year.
been as good. Jorginho, COVID. They've got a lot of
similar.
They just don't. I don't think what it says is it doesn't all knit together. Do you know what I mean? They've got good players. I don't think anyone could deny that. Mount, I love Mason Mount.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
And then you've got obviously in the wide areas, you've got Pulisic, you've got Ziyech, you've got Sterling now, you've got Kai Havertz through the middle, Werner. But they've got a lot of very talented players.
It's this talk he might be going. Pulisic is not the first team player. Don't get me. They've got
Conor Gallagher, Ross Barkley.
Exactly. There's like a black hole of like players. Don't get me wrong, they're really good squad players. But what I mean is, they just lack that one player in midfield who everything goes through. Listen, they've got the wing backs. They've got, if they're on form and fit, it's tremendous. Yeah. And with Sterling now as the way playing probably more of an inside, they've got. I just look at that midfield and just think you're just missing that one player.
Is that to take them closer to
City
of course,
and Liverpool? But where else are they going to go? Do you know what I mean? You've got to.
Flav's saying they're going to be 10th there.
No, Flav's crackers.
Yeah. They have too much sun.
Yeah, I look at them. They've got lots of good footballers. Don't get me wrong. Lots of footballers that I would absolutely love at our football club. What I mean is, if you want to make that jump to the next thing,
levels.
I just look at that midfield and say, yeah, Kante's a great player on his day, but it's diminishing returns. Mason Mount, brilliant goal scorer and midfielder. But have they got that one player who's just a little bit elite, just can take you to that next level with the way he plays? I'm not sure. I just see Chelsea's midfield. There's a lot of similar players, but hey, listen, there's time left.
Do you think the final third, in terms of putting the ball in the net for them, because obviously Rom's gone. Well, I mean, he didn't do much for them anyway, but he's gone. I mean, Kai Havertz is brilliant, but does he get you enough goals? I think Timo Werner doesn't get enough goals.
I think Tuchel wants to play in a very sort of Man City way, and dare I say, obviously, like Liverpool as well, where you create so many chances that someone's going to knock it in. Do you know what I mean? It's like Liverpool and Man City haven't in the last couple of years relied on one person to score all the goals. They share them. They have a philosophy in their way of playing that creates lots of... I mean, Sterling was one of the biggest, opportunists of Man City. He stood at the back post half the time and just swept the ball in the back of the net. Sometimes put it over. But do you know what I mean? It's like City, the way City play and the way Liverpool play is like, we don't need this one player up front. And there's an irony in that, because both of them have bought centre forwards to put the ball in the back of the net. But both of them play in a way that's going to make chance after chance after chance. And whoever takes them, whether it be one of the three forwards, one of the the full backs or the wing backs for Chelsea, someone will take them because they, both. And I think Chelsea probably just want to do more of that. So, and that's why Lukaku, I think, didn't quite make it. And that's why Kai Havertz stepped up, where you're just making lots of chances. And I think that's a very, obviously we've seen that in the last few years, that's a very modern way of doing things. Pep Guardiola, when he was at Barcelona, you've seen documentaries and things where it's like, yeah, but we can one ball over the top and he's in and he'll score. And it's like, yeah, but that's not how we play. We play to create chances for everybody, because that's what's going to win games of football, not making one person a chance, because you're relying on one ball and one player all the time, and then that becomes easiest to stop. So it will be interesting to see how Chelsea move on this season. I think the shackles are off in a way as well.
Well, there's a lot of talk of Cristiano Ronaldo going there, but Chelsea
yeah.
have apparently distanced themselves from that and decided.
PSG
aren't
come
keen
on.
either.
I know, but it's the dream. Ronaldo and Messi get to play together. Come on, make it happen. Make it happen.
For the season. Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Chelsea do, but obviously they have made some moves now, and we'll see if it gets them any closer. Pre-season games have started. Manchester United beat Liverpool 4-0 the other day, Ten Hag's first game, and good result for them. And they obviously brought Malacia in from Feyenoord. They've now, looks like they've gone back to Holland, unsurprisingly, with Ten Hag's knowledge there, and looks like they're getting Lisandro Martinez from Ajax.
Davy Klaassen then?
No, I think they're looking at him, but he's not gone. Now they've gone for obviously Martinez as well, and Frankie de Jong.
Yeah,
as well from Barca. Looks like that's going to happen.
That's been the one they've been
chasing after.
Yeah, they knew it was going to happen. Barca's financial issues are well documented, and they've brought, even though they continue to bring players in, which is mad. They're not paying people, but they're bringing the players in, and it'll be interesting. But Barca now go for Lewandowski now they've got the money, but they obviously think he's going to be the big thing in midfield, and yeah, they'll be open to spark a revolution, and obviously. For them, that first pre-season game, beating Liverpool 4-0, is... I mean, listen, it doesn't matter. The results don't matter, as we'll find out this weekend for us. They don't matter, but they did show a
confidence boost.
A way of playing the new, different way.
Boost playing against one of the top teams in the world and beat them 4-0. Liverpool, I know Liverpool changed plays, but they had some good players playing. It wasn't like Liverpool had all the kids out, so, we saw a couple of good misses from Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez. But I'm sure when it matters they'll put them in. But no, for United perspective, it's a good like kind of bonus for them, that opening game against Liverpool, a good boost. See what else they do, because I'm sure that they still want to do some other business as well, because they have to get that squad of players, even though they've got some good players in it, motivated, because they just kicked the shoes off with about 6 weeks to go, didn't they? And
they just need a different way of playing, don't they? And obviously in that game they've shown that they're going to change things around, and they're going to, going back to what you were saying before, Ronaldo, I mean, he said he wants Ronaldo, he wants to keep Ronaldo, and there doesn't seem to be that many takers for Ronaldo. We said this last week. This fella who wants to play Champions League football, he's 37, he wants silly money. Who these days can do that? I know one team. Pass on your man. Make it happen. Make it happen, lads. Come on. It's the dream.
Okay.
It's the dream.
Spurs also played their first game this week, won 6-3 in Korea, was it?
Korean All-Stars, wasn't it?
Richarlison played. He said 80 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Didn't score, so therefore waste of money. No, good win for Spurs, 6-3 as well. So, and
they've been getting flogged on this pre-season.
I believe you were
hours of just running, just old school running,
and throwing up,
all that. Getting.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
He'd be on.
Run, throw up. Run, throw up. It's all good. So, we'll see. We'll see Arsenal.
But he's getting them up to the levels, the squad up to the levels.
Yeah, but that's what Conte does. They're fit, they're organised, and you've got some real quality, and that picks them off. So it is going to be dead interesting. Some other teams trying to do business, trying to get things over the line. West Ham, who are chasing, struggling a little bit to get some deals over the line, but they want them done. So yeah, I mean, we're looking like it might.
It's quite. You know what I would say though, like. It is quite quiet. Europe, it's quite quiet, isn't it? Like the big teams, Bayern Munich obviously brought Mane in. You know, Barca are trying. They've brought Rafinha in from Leeds, and new contract for Dembele, and you know, obviously Frankesi and Christensen have gone in there, so they've done a bit of business, even though they've got no money. I don't know. Real Madrid have been quite quiet. You know, obviously they wanted Mbappe, and that fell through. PSG have kept Mbappe. Because I was just thinking them, talking about dream front threes, Mbappe, Ronaldo and Messi. But what about Ronaldo, Messi and Moise Kean? I mean, that's the front three, isn't it? For us, that's the front three we all want to say. But it has been quite quiet in Europe, I think, so far. There's not a lot.
Swishing around. So maybe as we move forward, it'll catch fire. Normally does drip down, and then off you go from there. So there you go. Let us know what you think. Make sure you get over to the BetVictor YouTube channel. Check out the rest of that Last Man Standing video, this week's episode. Subscribe as well, and give the video a like, and leave a comment. Why wouldn't you? Give us a subscribe and a like on the video, and if you want to become a Premier Toffee TV Premier member, the link is in the description, and the barcode is on the QR code rather is on the screen. Now the barcode. Thinking about Newcastle buying more players. That's right. The QR code is on the screen at the end of this video. See you later.